up, though, Pride Nation? Welcome back to another Detroit.Sports.Alliance roundtable for your Detroit Lions. I am your host, Luke G. We plan on having a lot of fun today because we got a lot to cover. And we want to make sure that we do it in a good, timely fashion. Now, to all my Padres who are muted right now, you want to unmute yourselves because I'm getting ready to do introductions on you all fine gentlemen to introduce our panel. Starting out with our guest for today, good people, we have ourselves a subscriber. So as you can see, he got his Twitter handle up there real smooth and swiftly. Mr. Smitty. What's going on, Mr. Smitty?
Nothing much. Just living life, just as you guys are. Ready for a good show today.
Absolutely. And then we have ourselves, one half of the dynamic duo, which I always call them the dynamic duo, and try to get them to have some beef. At least in terms of trying to get them to figure out who is Iron Man and who is Tony Stark. But that is one Mr. Real from Real Detroit Lions fan. What's going on, Real? What's
up, everybody, man? I'm just excited to talk football. Let's get this started.
I still need to figure out who is Iron Man and Tony Stark, but we're going to leave that alone today. Let's go on over there to, probably one of our youngest but well knowledgeable members, Mr. Right or Wrong. Writer, what up, though?
What's going on, everybody? I feel like I'm not probably the youngest. I feel like I'm definitely the youngest here. But that doesn't mean I don't know about football.
I think you might. I don't know. We got some youngins up in here now. We got some youngins. I don't know. But you are certainly one of the better knowledgeable ones. And then last but certainly not least is Mr. OMG is Lions Talk. Mike, what up, dude?
What's good, my bro? What's good?
Listen. It's a good day. Now, I am on daddy duty, people. So if y'all hear my baby in the back, hey, I apologize, but hey, father first. Let's get right into this right off the gate, and I'm gonna start off with you on this one, Real, because this one is one of the ones that it keeps coming up, and I know I'm sick of hearing it, and so I'm gonna go ahead and address it. Apparently, the Matthew Stafford results come back as negative. Look at him. He would. The results come back as negative. And so the question was posed to me, should the Detroit Lions only pick in the first round next year, given the fact that we know that Stafford's got hurt again this year, should the only pick be a quarterback? Starting off with you, Real, what's your thoughts?
No, I mean, no, not at all. No matter what, no, absolutely not. Obviously matters like what pick you are and, who's there on the board. I think that's a ridiculous statement. No.
I mean, no. I'm gonna go last. What say you, Writer? I mean, Stafford obviously done been hurt another year. These injuries are starting to pile up. And should the only pick that the Lions make in the first round of the 2021 draft be a quarterback?
I mean, I kind of agree with what was just said. I don't think you can say that we have to take a quarterback because you don't know where we're going to be picking. You don't know who's going to be there. You don't know, what the circumstances is. Like, are you going to reach for the fifth quarterback in the class just because you have to take a quarterback? Like, I just feel like the circumstance, like I have to know more about where we're picking, who is available for me to say whether or not we should pick a quarterback at that spot, especially considering some of the other deficits this team has that I think are a bigger need than quarterback.
Okay, I'm surprised at some of these answers. I really am. John Stone says, living life here in sunny Florida. He real wrong for that right now. But he says, love the show you guys put on for my Detroit Lions. Hey, appreciate it. We're going to keep it coming. It's doing as much as possible and keeping the content coming. Let's go on down there to you, Smitty. What are your thoughts? Obviously, Stafford injured for a second year. Do you think that the Lions' only choice at this point is to take a quarterback no matter what in the first round?
No. And I've been saying no for the longest time. See, if we had a first-round QB, what does that say for our defense? Last time I checked, we're last in almost every category. So we need to fix that before we need to get a first-round QB, which we may or may not get.
Exactly.
I like how Smitty came in right out the gate, got right to the point, right to the point, and got it. OMG, man. I mean, I'm getting scared for my take. OMG.
Yeah.
Should the only pick in the 2021 draft, given the fact that Stafford is injured again this season, be hands down, a quarterback.
And you know this, man. Yes, because I all right. Let me just kind of dog walk the whole. We got to build a defense first before we think about a quarterback, because we're not going to take 2 years to build a defense, then get a quarterback, and then give him 2 years too to get used to playing. So now we 4 years out. Please, man, no. We can get a quarterback and we can build a defense at the same time. Like, we don't have to do one or the other. You know what I'm saying? But a quarterback is definite. I thought a quarterback should have been on the radar last year because of the injuries he had. You know what I'm saying? So, and now here we go again. It's a year, another year. He didn't been beat up, and granted, it might not be his fault, but the fact of the matter is he's been beat up. So it is time to get that. Last year was the time to get that guy. We're not going to wait a whole nother year again. And so the defense going to be good, but we're going to be like the Jacksonville Jaguars, where the defense was good, but we ain't had no QB, so we were sorry. The Buffalo Bills, like right before they got my man's, the quarterback, man, and their defense was good, but they ain't do nothing. And like, it's like, come on, man, we ain't got to be that team. We can do both. It's possible to do both. So please, I got to just kill that noise that we need to get the defense first. And I'm not trying to do no 4-year rebuild. You know what I'm saying? We can get them both together at the same time.
I don't think it's a 4-year rebuild. But let me also tell you this. OMG, your connection is like messing up really bad. So I want to kind of put that out there. But I don't think it's a rebuild. And my attitude to it is if we are picking in the top 10, hands down, your first pick has to be a quarterback. And the reason I say that is because when I look at the order as it stands with the current draft pick, the Lions can still end up with the third or fourth best quarterback in this draft. And that third or fourth best quarterback could probably be somebody you really want, you know. So to me, if you win the top 10, you got to take a quarterback. I would even stretch it to the top 12. But outside of the top 12, I need all defense. I want every defensive player you can find. I have a strange draft scenario, and if I get it my way, I'm gonna get it my way. So I see a lot of people are saying wait till next year, but I don't. I'm if I can get the quarterback I need right now and let him sit and groom behind Stafford, I'm good. If you don't, then we got a problem because now we're doing the same thing. So let me just go ahead and move this along. Hold on, let me see. My son is literally hyped about whatever this is on the television, and I have no clue what he's watching.
I'm just gonna throw this out there though. The question did say, like, no matter what. So you're saying
no matter what,
your guy is there, yeah, you take him. Like, yeah, I'd agree with that. If the Lions GM at the time, whoever's the GM, if he thinks his guy is on the table, let's then do it. Let's go for it. I'm in agreement with you there.
Yeah, I think with the subscriber who sent me the question, I think his attitude to it is he believes that no matter where we are picking, we got to take a quarterback. Like, no matter where in that first round. That's his view. And so I told him, like, listen, like, if I'm in the top 15, why am I taking a quarterback if it's not one there I'm happy about? I can wait to a later round or do something to a different effect. Angelo says, so we went to draft another quarterback just to get him injured. The reason Stafford is getting injured is because he has to put this team, too many times on his back.
How many sacks does he have this season? Put a rookie in that. Put Tua in that situation. Tua would have been broken in half.
Oh, my, Tua would have been done. Tua would have been done.
How many sacks does Stafford have? Like a lot. He has a ton.
Like 30-something, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe more than that.
Crazy.
Luke's son watching Zach Wilson highlight. I think he's watching Curious George. That's what it sounds like. But listen, this is the thing. We're going to hit this next topic hard and swiftly, and we're going to start it off with you, Ryder. If Matt Patricia was still the head coach of this Detroit Lions, do you believe that the Lions would have, one, made that comeback to beat the Bears, and two, been the thorn in the backs of the Green Bay Packers?
No. Nope. Absolutely not.
You giving up no chance?
Zero. Well, Matt Patricia was 0-5 versus the Bears. He was 0-5 versus the
Good point.
He was 0-5 versus the Vikings, and he was like 2-3 versus the Packers. I think I like my chances with Darrell Bevell a bit more than Matt Patricia. And if Matt Patricia couldn't beat the Bears in 3 seasons, he had 5 opportunities to beat the Bears, some of those with a backup quarterback, some of those with Mitch Trubisky, some of those without Khalil Mack, some of those without Robert Quinn. He couldn't do it. He can't do it. That definitely is not happening. That comeback does not happen under Patricia.
Yeah, when I got this, listen, I take too many questions from subscribers, especially ones that I find to be interesting. I thought this was an interesting question because he believed that this would happen. like he really believed that the same results would have been the same. And I'm like, you can see a difference between these two teams. Like a Darrell Bevel team would beat a Matt Patricia team. And it's obvious to me, but I guess some people don't believe the hype. What do you think, OMG? Do you think that if Matt Patricia was still coaching this team when we went to get the Bears, they would have completed that comeback? And do you think they would have been, been in a dogfight with the Packers?
No, they definitely wouldn't have. Just because history speaks for itself. Like we supposed to expect a change, and this would be another one of his horrible seasons. Proof is in the pudding. Bears owned him. You know what I'm saying? Basically, every team owned him, really. If you want to be technically, correct with it, that the rocket scientist just wasn't really that smart to begin with. Because he didn't know the game of football. So he wouldn't have beat him, even though we had the answers to the puzzle. He just wouldn't have put the puzzle together right. So we would have lost.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that. The puzzles. I like that.
Thank you.
Listen, you know who else brought that whole thing about the puzzle? Darius Slay. We destroyed him, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Right. I'm gonna leave that alone. Smitty.
He wouldn't leave us alone with his Twitter fingers. Come on.
I'm just listen. Sometimes when you got to get it off your chest, you got to get it off your chest. Smitty, do you believe that under Matt Patricia, that the Detroit Lions would have completed that comeback against the Bears and been in a dogfight with the Packers?
Is this a trick question?
I'm serious. Listen, a subscriber sent it to me. I'm just sharing it. He sent the question to me, and I was like, "You really want me to ask this?" He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, oh, "Okay." Okay. Like, oh my God, what tool would have juked or took a slide? Stafford a bum and has a low IQ, so he took a hit instead of sliding. Get rid of the bum.
You realize he slid, right? Stafford was in the middle of his
slide.
Like
he slid. Like what?
He was in the middle of his slide when he got hit in the head. Like that.
Like literally.
It was an illegal hit by Kenny Clark. What is Stafford supposed to do about that? Make Kenny Clark not go in late? Stafford's supposed to use that telekinesis and just stop him right there.
Right, yeah. Just you stop, freeze.
There's only one bum that I see on this page, and it's definitely not Stafford.
It's Tua Tagovailoa.
Looking at you, Detroit legend.
I mean, then it says, and Tua is better than Stafford.
That's not true. I've never seen Stafford get benched.
No.
That's true.
Tua would have been the second coming of Josh Rosen if he was drafted here.
Facts, but hey, Smitty, I'm gonna get back to the question. I'm like, what? Tua better? Okay.
No.
All right. I mean, do you think they complete that comeback and they're getting to that dogfight?
No. Let me restate that. Hell no. Next question.
Here's my personal belief. You're talking about a guy that, when you look at his history, he doesn't have a lot of comebacks, and it's a lot that of things that you look at with him. I have been a well-known person on the record to say how much I do not like this head coach. I was done after that first year. I just thought that he was going to come in and get that defense going, and after that first year, I saw everything I needed to see, and I said, nope, not going to work. We got to move on. And to me, I not only do I not believe this, the idea that this is even a real question, much like Smitty said, I was dumbfounded because I'm like, this can't be for real because there's nothing about this that is good. Like, I don't understand this. So it's just funny to me to see it, but they wanted the question to be answered, and I did. Real, I'm pretty sure you're gonna follow suit with this, but they can't. One thing y'all can't say, people, is if you send me something or you ask to be on, I get you on the show. I work my hardest to get you on the show. And when you send me something, I will put it in there. Okay? I'm not shying away from y'all stuff. All right? So I'm just putting it out there. But Real, what do you think, man? I mean,
no, I share the same beliefs as you guys with this, but I will say, like, I mean, we can't just like kill him that bad. Like, he did beat the Packers in the past. Like, it's not that I can't envision him doing it. It's that I don't believe he would. That's the real answer.
When he beat the Packers, I'm gonna leave that alone. Matt Patricia. I can make the case.
I'm just saying I can't. There's no way. There's no way. I could still envision him losing narrowly to the Packers. Like, that's not a hard thing to like envision to me. And same with beating the Bears. Even though he's never done it, he's always been in the lead, I feel like, and then he loses at the end. So that's just the difference between him and Bevel. He's in the lead and he loses it, and Bevel's behind and he won it.
I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm on record for how I feel about Matt Patricia, and I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, he wanted me to ask the question. I think he's trying to get me riled up, but I'm gonna leave it alone. You're not gonna get my blood pressure up today with this stuff. Okay, so I'm not with it. So this is a fair question too, because when he asked that, I wanted to point this out because I thought different. Is it fair to say that we all think that this team looks different under Darrell Bevell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just talk about some of the things that you noticed as being different. Starting off with you, Smitty. What is one of the things you noticed immediately under Darrell Bevell about his team that's different from everybody else?
Well, for me, it's the offense. I mean, how much? The real question is how much did MP really hold back Bevell? Because when he was over there, when he was still over there, there have been some play calls that I deemed questionable. But now with Bevell Bevell now is that interim head coach, I see a lot of players having fun on offense, maybe not so much on defense, and not to mention the players really want to play. The players really want to play for him.
Okay, I mean, I see a lot of the same things. The biggest thing I saw is the players look like you remember that movie called The Wizard of Oz, and remember when the Wicked Witch died, even her people celebrated. Remember how they was like, "Oh, he killed her! She's gone, y'all!" That's how I feel like the players acted when they was like, "Patricia's fired." They was looking like Napoleon Dynamite with the yes, like they was happy. Like they was beyond. Go ahead.
They look pretty loose to me.
They do. They look so much happier. What about you, Real? What is something that you notice is significantly different with this team under Darrell Bevell that wasn't there with Matt Patricia?
Yeah, well, I have two things. First of all, I do see that Darrell Bevell is playing with more urgency in his play calling. And I don't know if that's because Patricia held him back or if Bevell thinks that this is his audition as a head coach, so he's like trying even harder. I don't know whether it's one or the other, but that's definitely a difference. Like, I see more passing on first downs, which I like to see, especially when we're losing. It really frustrates me when we run on first down and don't get any yards when we're losing the game already. And it makes it very tough to come back. And we do it on every first down with Patricia and with Caldwell. So that really irritated me. But the bigger thing that I've noticed a difference is, look, September 20th, Patricia was the head of the Lions defense against the Packers. Aaron Jones had 168 yards and 3 touchdowns. Undelin, I assume, was the head of the defense on Sunday, and Aaron Jones only had 69 rushing yards, 0 touchdowns. Jamal Williams didn't do much better. A.J. Dillon, I don't even think he saw the field. That run defense was spectacular.
Yeah,
not spectacular. Let me take that back. It was spectacular compared to what we saw against Green Bay in the past. That's what it wasn't spectacular.
No. But you make a good point, and it's a point that we should still acknowledge, which is a lot of the things seem different. Like if you took that first game against the Packers and compare it to this game, it looked like they played a totally different team. And so to me, when I see that, I'm amazed and shocked by what I saw. OMG. Let me ask you, man, what do you notice that's different between Darrell Bevell ran team versus a Matt Patricia ran team? Yep. Awesome answer. Great answer. Oh my God, I can't believe that answer.
Oh no, we can't hear him. That's the problem. He's like really low.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him get that together, and we'll get back to him on that one. I think Bevel should stay. Okay, all right. Ramona Newegg.
About that.
Listen. He said it, but we're gonna get into it. Smitty, do you think Darrell Bevell should remain the head coach?
No.
Why not?
Yes and no. I feel like he's a breath of fresh air to the. I feel like he's a breath of fresh air to the players, but we're still seeing a lot of potential. We're still seeing a lot of head coaching candidates who will be better for this team. But if he decides to stay, I'm good. If they hire another guy, I'm good with it. But I would like to see him here next year as an offensive advisor, like Gary Kubiak was with the Vikings.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Real. Should they keep Darrell Bevell as the head coach?
I don't think so, because I think you're gonna go out and get your GM, and the GM didn't pick Bevell. So as the head coach, no, I don't think so at all. But I would say if they got somebody like Salah or like Bieniemy or somebody like that, that's a defensive guy. Is Bieniemy? No. Bieniemy is the offensive guy. No, it's like Salah or just another defensive type of head coach. I'd be totally okay with. I know some people wouldn't be, but I'd be totally okay with having Bevell stay as the offensive coordinator. I think he's still much better than what we had in the past in Jim Bob Cooter and Joe Lombardi.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Ryder, what do you think? Should the Lions keep Darrell Bevell as their head coach?
No. But in saying that, I don't think Darrell Bevell should be the next head coach, but I do think he has shown a lot. I do think he has, proved a lot. I think he's done very, very well with the opportunity that's been given to him. So, I think that he could stay as the offensive coordinator. I wouldn't be upset at it. I don't know how much Matt Patricia was hindering Darrell Bevell's play calling. It definitely seems like they were. I don't think it's a coincidence that Matt Stafford's two best games of the season were against Chicago and against Green Bay. Like, I think Darrell Bevell has a system that works, and I feel like Matt Patricia was holding that back and hindering it a little bit. So if our new head coach that comes in, we'll just let Darrell Bevell call his plays the way he wants to do it. We've seen it's effective. So if we can keep Darrell Bevell at the spot he is now as far as a play calling standpoint, keep that aggression, keep the offense, keep the tempo, all of that the same. And then we can actually, put just him on offense, just let him scheme up offense all week, not have to worry about the defense, anything like that. I think our offense would be in a better spot. And then we could still get a really good defensive-minded head coach to come in and help fix the defense, which, in my opinion, is the biggest problem.
Amen.
All right.
Oh, wait, my bad. I didn't realize that I got muted. I don't know how that happened. I got a new computer. Apparently, it's touchscreen. I probably should have read that before I did it. And I was like, following something with my finger, but I didn't realize it was doing it for real. But anyway, here's my thing. I come up with 5 reasons why the Lions should not keep Darrell Bevell as head coach. The first reason is this. There are more qualified candidates. And so when you have more qualified candidates, you don't just take the guy because they look good now. Everything looks good in the beginning. Think about it. That job you got when you first got it, it looked like it was lit. 6 months later, you was like, F that job. Right? Like then that female you met, you know, when you saw her walking, you was like, oh, she tight. A year down the line, you rude, you disrespectful, and you a headache, and you toxic. And so everything looks good. Everything looks good right now. But the other reason is one that Real brought up. If I'm a general manager and I'm coming here, I should not be forced to keep somebody that I am not being picked. Like, I'm not picking him to stay here. And if I'm being forced to do that, that is a Lions move. They did it with Jim Bob Cooter. They did it with a host of other coaches. One of the issues with Bob Quin was Bob Quin didn't want Jim Caldwell off the rip. And so had the Lions let him get rid of Jim Caldwell at that time, they probably would have never got Matt Patricia because Patricia wouldn't have been available. But nonetheless, these are the things that you got to look at. And then on top of all that is this. I still remember them bad play calls. And I just don't think that 5 games is enough to evaluate him as a head coach, in my opinion. Now, not a Lion fan, but says the team is still split. And I don't think that's true. The only person that thinks that Matt Patricia needs another chance is Trey Flowers, because he know that the only person who's going to give him a shot in that kind of money was Matt Patricia. And so I think that there is no real split, in all honesty. But here's the thing I wanted to get to, because I could not wait to get to this question. The Lions just announced today that they have brought in former player Barry Sanders, former player Chris Spielman, and I believe the former Michigan State University athletic director to help them with their next head coach and GM hire. Now, this is big news for a lot of people. I'm excited about the news in a lot of ways, and I'm a little upset in a lot of ways. However, start off with you, OMG. Let's talk about it. What are your thoughts on the Lions bringing in Barry and Chris Spielman to help assist them in the next head coach and general manager hiring?
About time, man. About time. We ain't got to deal with no more of the Ford's friends and family. No, none of that. No more of their buddies that come over and have cocktails with them making decisions about the football team. You know what I'm saying? No, none of that. We actually have real football people making real football decisions. And I like it.
Okay. All right. We'll say you, Ryder. You know, what are your thoughts on the Lions bringing in Barry Sanders and Chris Spielman to help them with finding their next head coach and their next general manager?
I like it personally. I think it's a very smart decision. You know, you have people that have played here before. You have people that have played in Detroit and are some of the best players in franchise history, or some of the most notable players in franchise history. So they've been here before. They know what it takes to win because they were part of some of the most successful teams in this franchise's history. They have the best intentions at heart because they obviously played here. They want to see this team succeed. So, you know, they're trying to do the best to get this team where it should be and where they want it to be. Like, I think it just makes sense all around, right? The players want to help this team out because they played here. They weren't able to get the ring, but maybe they can help the team get the ring as a coach or as not a coach, but, you know, as a part of this organization. You know, they've won before. They've been part of a winning, you know, organization in Detroit. When they were here, the organization was pretty good, winning football games, going to the playoffs, and, you know, winning a playoff game. And, you know, I just think that it makes sense all around. Just, you know, they're obviously smart football minds. They're great players. They know what it takes to win football games. And, you know, I think that football mindedness will help in the front office. And I think it'll help the organization.
Okay. What say you, Real? I mean, what are your thoughts about them bringing in Barry and Chris Spielman to help them with the next GM and head coach hire?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna jump on Ryder because he brought it all on the table, man. They're definitely real Lions fans, and they're obviously want the best intentions at heart. And like you said, you know, they were here during some of the Lions' best eras, and they didn't get it done. So they definitely want to work. It's clearly something they're passionate about, and you don't want to bring in just another suit, you know what I mean, to do these things. But I do want a clarification because I'm not really sure, because I saw that Chris Spielman is joining as a special advisor for Rod Wood. Is that different than just? Is that more long term than just this GM coach hire like Barry Sanders, or are they the same thing that they?
No, it's long term. He's hired as an advisor to Rod Wood. Yes.
Okay, that is cooler to me than Barry Sanders, because I think I think Chris Spielman is really smart, and he knows what he's talking about with the Lions. And he's a real Lions fan. It's like you could tell during the games. I love it.
Okay, all right, Smitty, what are your thoughts? They bring in Barry, they bring in Chris Spielman to assist in the next head coach and GM hire. What are your thoughts?
They should have did this with WCF. They needed that football player mind to help them with their decision makings. And now with Sheila in the helm, I'm very happy at what's going on right now. I'm still waiting on the results, but it's definitely needed. Sheila's definitely taking all of her resources and time to getting this pick right.
Okay, now I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. If y'all notice, I kept this comment up on the screen because I have seen this comment, not particularly from, you can call me Funk, because this guy is awesome, but I have seen this comment too often on a lot of the different media outlets where they're talking about this. And so I'm going to tell you why not only do I love this hire, but why Lions fans need prayer. Walk with me for a minute, people. First thing first, all we kept hearing is, oh my God, this team ain't going to do anything till they sell this team. Sheila's just like her mom and her dad and her brother and her cousin and her dog and everybody else. She's just like her, right? So that's all you kept hearing. That's all you kept hearing was she was just like everybody else. Now, that complaint is out there. Then you go to the next complaint. We need somebody in there, man, with a football mind, with football guys, man, doing football stuff on football time. So now the person who you said was just like her people and everybody else now turns around and actually makes a hire for the football people with the football mind. Y'all still mad? Here's the thing I don't understand. Here's why I fundamentally disagree with you, can call me Funk, and why I kind of and Steve-O about Barry was more for the fans. Barry was not for the fans, and this was not a publicity stunt. And I'm going to tell you why. I went and I looked at the comments because I was very curious. I didn't see not one single person make that statement when the Houston Texans 8 days ago hired Andre Johnson to help find a next head coach and general manager. Where was that energy at? I didn't see that. Now, here's why I'm a little irritated at. The Texans also got Jimmy Johnson and Tony Dungy hired in to help them find a next head coach and general manager. That's a hell of a goddamn team. Jimmy Johnson built an amazing team. Tony Dungy has built amazing teams. But they still brought in former players, plus they brought those people in to help them hire their next person. This is the classic bait and switch, in my opinion, of people just not sure about what they want. And I'm not talking about you can call me Funk or you, Steve-O. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out that the Lion fan base as a whole, the Lions do something that is out of the box, that is different. And from my knowledge, I don't believe they've done this before. Could be wrong, but I'm just pointing it out. Don't believe they've done this before. So now we're running out of excuses. You know what? This is a dumb hire because you are essentially bringing a guy in before you brought in a general manager. No, they brought the guy in to help hire a general manager. Now, I'm going to tell you why this hire for these two are big. I'm going to tell you why. One of the reasons I wanted Peyton Manning, and I'm pretty sure that people like Real and Ryder and OMG can attest to this, is because I said Peyton Manning brings legitimacy to the team. Those free agents we weren't getting, we're going to get now. Barry and Chris Spielman bring that same legitimacy to you. How? Because who don't like Barry? And most people know who Chris Spielman is, and it's because of where he played football at. That's another point. Now, stay with me, because I'm finna walk you to this promised land so I can help y'all get out y'all way. Now, so what makes this hire special? Rob Woods has basically taken out his sword, laid it on the ground, and fell on it. I don't know football. I know how to run a business, but I trust that this guy knows football. And so now what that means is that Barry Sanders and Chris Spielman are now your checks and balance for stupidity. They will remove all doubt from stupidity. Now, if they fail at the job, fine. But damn it, it's different. It's new, and it needed to happen. And at the end of the day, we as a fan base have to love this. Now, I'm done with my rant. Okay.
Can I Can I say something on that, Luke?
Go ahead.
Cause I'm pretty sure you're familiar with me on Twitter, how the SOL Nation, what you say, and how they're complaining about that. But here's the thing, and I've learned this already: you can't win with them. Guys like Detroit.Sports.Alliance, Benjamin Foe, buffed up, always complain about Stafford or anything else. Like, bruh, if you can do a better job, do it. Other than that, just watch the game.
I mean, listen, I like this point right here too, because this is the other part I left out, and I did it on purpose. So I was going to save it for another rant, but I'm going to put it in there now too. Secondly, I'm going to tell you why this is a beautiful thing. Because one, this allows for Chris Spielman to sit up there and learn the ins and outs of this team as he's making a decision. And so now you have created a farming system for a general manager. So guess what? If our general manager that they help hire don't work, you now have a guy in Chris Spielman who not only loves the Detroit Lions, he's really loves them, who not only loves them, he understands the culture and what it takes. And if you watched his presser was clear on what the problem was with the Lions. And where he was very clear about what he thought it was. He said it was the fact that they kept going away from whatever it was that they set up to for identity, and that we got to be consistent. We cannot keep going away from things that we are building upon. In his eyes, if you are going to play a hard-nosed defense, then keep building up to build a defense, but don't do it. But if he make himself the general manager, which I don't think he will, but if he do, Ramon, if he makes himself the general manager, then he's in for a word of hurt, because I'm telling you, the worst thing you can do is be anything on a Detroit Lions team, because that would be the biggest mistake he would have ever made. Why? Because every time somebody come here, they don't not get hired nowhere else. They just don't, especially not in that same position. If you was here as a head coach, damn it, that was your chance. It's over. You would never get it again unless you go to high school. Now, just want to put that out there, people. This was a good move. Y'all put y'all thoughts in there and let me know what y'all think. I just love the fact that we did this, and I think that it was necessary. I think that it was nice to have. Now, Steve-O says Spielman said he wasn't qualified to be a GM. He must be honest, but he's learning how the front office. That's all it is. That's all it is, and it's nothing else, and it's nothing more. I'm not entertaining this Matthew Stafford talk stuff. Y'all can have that. I'll let y'all battle that out in the chat amongst each other. I'm not handling no more Matthew Stafford stuff. I'm just going to do the same thing. Listen, them same people, I swear to God, the same people who was talking about Matthew Stafford was talking about how great of a head coach Matt Patricia was. And I'm just being honest. I saw it, I read it, and I went, the hell with that. And they blamed it on the quarterback. We blamed it on Stafford. We blamed it on Charlie Batch. We blamed it on Rodney Peete. We blamed it on Eric Kramer. If I'm going to keep going naming all these quarterbacks at this point, this show going to be 4 hours. We just keep doing it, and I'm not entertaining it. Now, the Detroit Lions recently interviewed former Houston Texans general manager Rick Smith. And apparently this had the whole Lion fan base on fire. Now, OMG, I'm starting to talk with you. Matter of fact, no, I'm starting to talk with you, Smitty. What are your thoughts about the Lions interviewing Rick Smith and the prospect that Rick Smith being our next general manager?
It's just due diligence, that's all. I mean, we've seen this before when they interviewed the 3 people in their own organization, and they can't, and the organization can't even interview the other candidates until after the playoffs or even the season. So I'm not thinking too hard about this.
Okay. I see you got a neutral stand on it. Ryder, what are your thoughts about Rick Smith getting interviewed by the Lions? And I know you did a video on it, so y'all please make sure y'all go check out RachelMarieSports. He did do a very well video about it, but what are your thoughts for the people?
So I think people overreacted when they heard his name because it's not the guy that they wanted them to interview. Right, it's not Ed Dobbs. It's not I don't know, a lot of the other ones, but it's not the guy that they wanted, so they overreacted.
Ryder, pardon me for my interruption. People, I saw nothing but happy faces. I saw a whole lot of people talking, "Give me that, please! Yes, please, give me that, give me that, give me that."
Oh,
that's what I saw. I saw joy from the comments and stuff, and
I'll get into that in just a second. So,
we'll get into it. The floor is yours. Get into it.
So, this dude and Rick Smith is a very good draft. And I did a whole video on this, like Luke said. So if you want my like advanced, really in-depth thoughts, you can go watch the video. But he drafted 14 Pro Bowlers in 12 years. He drafted J.J. Watt, who's going to be a Hall of Famer. He drafted Deshaun Watson, who very well could be a Hall of Famer. He drafted very talented guys that did go to the Pro Bowl, including Whitney Merciless, DJ Swearinger, Will Fuller. There's a ton of other guys. Kareem Jackson's up there. Like
Hopkins.
He is a really good. Oh, Hopkins too. Yep. He's a very good drafter. He built a very good team into the Houston Texans before he had to step away. Obviously, if you don't know, stepped away because his wife had some, medical concerns, had some medical complications. So he had to step away from GMing, and Bill O'Brien kind of tore that whole thing down. But this isn't about Bill O'Brien. This is about Rick Smith. And what Rick Smith did with the Houston Texans was very, very good. He had 4 division titles. He had 8 winning seasons out of the 12 seasons he was there. He built a good team. He's a good drafter. He gets good free agents. Like, he is a good all-around GM. And, I don't know if the Lions are going to hire him. Obviously, they're not going to hire him right now because they're going to try to get everybody in. They're going to try to interview as many people as possible. But I really like this interview. I think the Lions are doing the right thing by giving as many people an opportunity as possible. And if you're going to interview people, Rick Smith's probably the best one right now that you can interview. So I really like this move from the Lions.
Okay. D-Town Diplomat says, hey, Luke G, you said we need experience. What have Spellman and Sanders done off the field to qualify them to be advisors? Well, that's a very good question. And so when I say I wanted experience, I absolutely said I wanted experience at head coach and general manager. An advisor simply gives them the player's perspective. And yes, they have not played in a long time, but they still talk to a lot of the players. They are still integral in talking to players who come into this league. And so what they bring to this team as an advisor is this. When decisions need to be made, there's a committee of players and people who have been on successful teams and had success themselves who can say, hey, I don't like the way that he coaches this, and I don't think that's going to work for us. And there's people who can say things like, hey, when you got guys like Jim Caldwell who says things like we should not be drafting Aaron Donald because we're trying to get away from small people. We got football people in there who has played that can say, no, he helps what we do here, and him with this makes us a monster. So what you start to see is this. He's doing nothing than being like an advisor, literally giving tutoring lessons to the guy to say, hey, here's what you should be looking for. Here's what players respect. Here's what kind of coaching wins games. Here's what made me want to run through a wall. Here's what worked for me. Here's how this coach gets the best out of me. He brings that to the fold in terms of experience. Now let's flip it. You leave Rod Wood in his own position, and you leave Sheila in her own position. Their experience combined ain't nowhere near what a player, somebody who's played the game and been through it, experience has been. So that's what I mean by that. But overall, I meant experience per the general manager and per the head coach. So let's go over to you, Real. What are your thoughts about the Lions interviewing Rick Smith?
Sorry, I was muted. So just like Ryder was saying, man, I like the way this guy drafts. Not just, the people that he's hit on in the first round, but even the positions that he chooses. I really like, that he hits the defensive line, offensive line, linebackers, stuff like that more often than not. And I mean, even when it was time to pick a quarterback, Deshaun Watson, when he was picked, he wasn't the first quarterback taken that year. And look at him. He looks amazing to me. So I like the way he drafts, but did he bring in Bill O'Brien? I'm unaware. If he did, then that sucks because what if he picks a coach?
I think Bill came after him. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bill came after him. But it was some coaches that he made coaches like Wade Phillips and stuff. So that's my gripe with him. His coaching hires are suspect at best. And on top of that, I'm not going to praise him for his draft picks because a lot of those times they were picking pretty damn high. You almost could not mess this up. Like literally, like you just couldn't.
Have you seen the Lions draft?
Yes, I knew I was about to say that, man. Like we didn't.
You're picking high.
If you go through and look at the Lions draft when they are picking 1, 2, minus this third, this with Okuda, they have hit.
Can't do that.
Okay, but you gotta minus it because the season ain't over. So minus that right now. We don't know what his career gonna be. He still got time to turn it around. But they went out. They got a Stafford when they was first overall. They got an Ndamukong Suh. They've added a Calvin Johnson. I can say those same things for other people.
Yeah, but Luke, man, like DeAndre Hopkins, 27th overall, Whitney Merciless, 26th overall, Kareem Jackson, 20th overall. Like those are all late. Will Fuller, 21st overall. Like those are all hits. You know, like those are really good players, and those are not that early. I don't know. Like
I feel you. I feel you, and I wish I could bring it all up. I wish I could bring it all up for you to be able to see it. But the reality is this: those same attributes that y'all are lauding out there at him, we've had people here and Martin Mayhew and other people who did those same things and hit on those same types of picks. It's just to me when you look at those late round picks, because you're still talking about first round picks. Tell me who he took that was. Tell me who he took that was in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th round. That like how many he hitting on those?
Glover Quin and DJ Reader are 2.
Damn.
Damn. Glover Quin, if I'm not mistaken, started out at corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was not going the way people thought. And then they asked him to go to safety. And then he blew up and then he left. DJ Reader, it took a while to get into his positioning, but I'll give you DJ Readers and I'll give you Glover Quin. But they brought him in as a corner. Just saying. Like if for me, I'm looking for a very specific resume. And if I don't get that resume, I'm not settling for it for less. So that's why I'm a little bit hard on it. OMG, what are your thoughts about them interviewing Rick Smith? Because hold on.
I just want to go off what you just said, man. Because to me, is there a GM out there that first of all has experience, but not only has experience, has a resume? I mean, not a resume, a record of drafting really great, and has a resume of picking a great coach. Is there all three of those in your estimation?
In terms of a general manager?
Yeah. Because I think that you are putting something out there that might be unable to obtain because that's not available. Because those types of GMs are still on the teams, you know?
But it is available, and I'm trying my best not to
reveal something. You're gonna make a video. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you put me in a hard spot. I'm like, damn it! If I reveal it, the video's useless. You know what? I know I'm gonna switch the video. I'll re-record it and I'll switch it. All right. So I do think that person exists. I think John Dorsey has fit that mold, but the true person to me that fits it more than anybody is Eric Wolf. Eric Wolf has done a good job of drafting. Eric Wolf has been around people who has been able to draft coaches. He didn't even want Freddie Kitchens. That was somebody else's idea. He was like, no, bro, we gotta move on. So for me, and he said you hate to be wrong. No, I don't mind being wrong. Hell, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And when I'm right, nobody talks about that. You can hear a rat pissing on cotton. But I'm saying,
come on, Luke.
Are you talking about Elliot Wolf?
Luke? Elliot Wolf, yes.
Okay.
Elliot Wolf. I like him. I think he can be had. And then also, I think Dorsey has a lot of background, but with Dorsey, I'm scared. And then the other guy, I'm trying to think of his damn name, but I can't never pronounce it. How you pronounce his name? Geez, it'll hit me in a minute. He on the Steelers. But anyway, I think those guys have the experience to do it, and I think it can be had, and I think we can have them. Period, hands down.
Wait. Is it Elliot Wolf? Are you sure it's Elliot Wolf?
Well, let me go back and look at the names because I got to look at let me go back to my little notes. I keep notes of my stuff. Let me go back.
Go back to his Rolodex.
Man, listen. Hey, bro. Listen, sometimes you got to do it. Why did I not put the name of the team that they buy on here? I'm not the smartest one on this shit. Okay, all right. I'm just going to Google the Steelers dude. Brandon Hunt is the Steelers guy. And Elliot Wolf is the Browns evaluator. Yes. That is correct. Elliot Wolf. Those are two guys that I think have.
Why Elliot Wolf though? And if you're gonna make a video, we don't got to get into it. I'm just curious.
Well, one of the reasons with Elliot, I know he's on the Patriots now. One of the reasons with Elliot Wolf is because his ability to evaluate talent and find talent is what stands out to me. And one of the things is he's always learning how to basically bring in the right people. I found old articles where he was talking about certain people that he did not want to hire. But when he was in those positions, he was forced by ownership to hire certain people and then was fired when they didn't work out. And he was like, I didn't even want these people. I didn't even ask for these people. And so he's one of the people I like. I like John Dorsey. I like Brandon Hunt. I had a guy tell me, what about Brian Sanders? And I was like, no to Brian Sanders because he was already here in Detroit and he's gone. So like I said, I'm trying to do this without, like, I gotta re-record the video, but you making it hard on me out right now.
My bad, man. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just curious. Right. I was just, curious what your thoughts were. Because to me, it just seemed, because even him, like, and I don't know about the Brian Hunt guy. Is he a GM now? Like, even I feel like these guys don't have experience, and people are gonna like harp on that too. Because like,
no, they can harp on it, but you gotta understand like what I'm looking at when in terms of experience is this. Like I'm looking at. How are you with your talent evaluation? Are you drafting based on need or best player available? Are you drafting for talent? So when I go through and I look at some of these teams and I say, man, these guys weren't saying who's the best player available. These guys weren't saying things like, oh, we should go and get the best talent for the need that we had. They wasn't doing that. They were saying, get me the player, I'll find a spot for him. And to me, that's the experience I want. And then you look at their ideas, like, for example, when you look at head coaches, general managers, Ed Dodds, which you're making me get into my video, though. Ed Dodds is a candidate that many people like, and I think he might end up being our general manager because Ed Dodds would have been the general manager for the Cleveland Browns, but guess what happened? He rejected the interview when they asked him one question. They said, hey, we want to interview you, but we want to know who is your pick for our next head coach. You know what he told them? Robert Saleh. And they said, well, we kind of like Kevin Stiff Nosk, whatever how you pronounce his damn name. They said, we like him better. Would you be able to work with him? He said, no, I'm not interested. No, thank you. So this is what I'm talking about. Certain things like that. I'm looking for that guy who understands, like, I want to be put in a situation to succeed. I don't want to just be given a position and collect a check. I want to be the best at what I'm doing. And when he was going to be the general manager for the Browns, he made it very clear he wanted Robert Saleh. Why he wanted Robert Saleh? They asked him, like, you really going to turn on this interview? He said, yeah. If you're taking this Stefanski, whatever his name is, I'm not dealing with it. And to me, at that point, that's where I go, yep, here we go.
Yeah, but if you look at it though, the Lions have finally went out and sought out somebody that is respected. Like, they usually don't do that, especially not early on. Like, so The Lions, you know what I'm saying? The Lions went out and got somebody who has an eye for talent. Like, this dude knows how to draft. If anything else, he knows how to draft, and you're going to have that player for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And that speaks volumes about how the organization is trying to change. They're trying, you know what I'm saying? And I give a shout out to Sheila for that, man, because I think people really underestimating her footprint on this team, because I think people not realizing that this is all about Sheila has her chance to be even though her last name is Hemp, to be a forward, to leave her legacy. You know what I'm saying? She got a chance to leave her footprint on changing something in this Ford family. She don't want to do nothing with cars. You know what I'm saying? She wanna bring back this football team. She wanna be like, I'm the Ford that brought this football team back from dirt. You know, that's what she want to do, and the fact that they're going through this due diligence and not just hiring their drinking buddies to, you know what I'm saying, to be coaches and GMs and stuff. Man, that just gives me hope, man. I'm happy right now. I can't say nothing about it.
And that's a very good point you bring up, because you're right. The first thing that Bob Quin did was hire his drinking buddy, and they got him fired. If you go through and you look at Bob Quin, people was already questioning his drafts, right? Even though I enjoy what he did draft wise up until Patricia, and I'm like, I think it was J-Mo who said that he could never forgive Bob Quin for hiring Matt Patricia, and that's how I look at it. That one decision told me everything I needed to know about you, and that right there is what's scary. So I, like I said, I'm not trying to, leave it. Every time Real come on, Real forced me to have to dump a video. I swear to God, I feel like that happened. Dude, I have a video all welled and written. I mean, I'm gonna drop it after the show, and now I'm like, ain't no point of dropping the video because I kind of just told what's in the video. But now I got to figure out how I'm gonna rework it. I got an idea. I'm gonna do something different. I know I'm gonna do it. But thank you, Real. Thank you. I mean, the gift that keeps on giving, damn it. But yeah, I mean, the reality is you make up a very good point. And so that's that. Smitty, I believe I asked you this question, but if I did, I'm gonna ask you again. What are your thoughts about the Rick Smith, interview? Do you feel like that gives you hope? Are you excited about it? You not excited about it? I mean, what's the deal?
I'm just meh. Just mad. It's just due diligence. There are other options out there.
Okay, hold on. Wait. Lou G, you was the main person telling people that we are drafting for need and not for best talent, you and J-Mo. What I said was, you're right, because that's the formula that they were using. So I said, yes, this is what they're drafting for. I'm pretty sure anybody in the chat can contest to this, have always said, take the talent. I have literally always said that.
Hey man, Luke, I don't even know why you bother with this guy, man.
No, I'm just saying,
you just told me I don't know football, so
I'm just saying, I have literally always said, you take the talent. When last year's draft came up, I said, you take the talent. I want the most nasty, dysfunctional safety who has, that got diversity. If that should be Isaiah Simmons, who I think it would be, I was like, that's who I want, because I want the talent. Forget the other stuff. Give me the talent, right? I said, but if you're getting people who you got to just constantly fit into a place, I don't want that. I want the talent. And so, for example, I even talked about this during the draft, where I said, look at the Dallas Cowboys. They didn't need CeeDee Lamb, but what they did, they took the talent. And I said the Lions should have did the same thing, especially when you're picking 3. And you don't take no cornerback when you're picking 3, just because you got rid of a cornerback, you take the talent. And if you look at this team right now, at the end of the day, guess what? The same thing that we need is a linebacker is still missing. And that's all I'm pointing out. But listen, people hear what they want to hear. I'll just make sure I make it clear to them so they don't have to have any this thing. So I'm just saying. Now, here's the next question, because talking about general managers and head coaches, I just had to put everybody on the spot, and I wanted to know, who is your number one pick for general manager and head coach? Starting off with you, Smitty. Like, who do you want them to have?
I want them to have Joe Horowitz from the Ravens. So he's got like a pretty good thing going on over there. Okay. Now you want them for you want him for who? Be clear now. You want them for who? I want him for GM. GM. Okay. Now, believe it or not, Joe Horowitz is a guy that I have on my list of possible candidates. But tell us why you want him to be the GM. It seems to me like it's his time, and plus 20 years in the as a college scout for that organization, and he can put together his own staff. And with the draft thing that they've done for that team, thanks to his input, it pretty much writes for itself. All right, and who do you think he should take as a head coach? It's going to be a hometown pick. I think Robert Saleh. Not for the reasons why he's Michigan-based, but he doesn't come to me. I've been watching some of his film. It's like he doesn't stand out as a I know everything guy like Matt Patricia. He doesn't display that arrogance. He doesn't display that, hey, you should do this, do that. I'm right, you're wrong, deal with it. And I think that would be a breath of fresh air for the players. And not to mention, he evolves with the players thanks to his time in Seattle and whatnot. I actually see a little bit of Pete Carroll in him.
Okay. Listen, I'm not gonna kill you on that. Real, tell me who is your number one pick for general manager and head coach that you like? Look, the Lions get these people. I'm happy. This is who we should be looking at.
Look, I don't know how plausible this is, but I know that Peyton Manning's name has been thrown around by some people. If he's on the table, I'm all in for Peyton Manning as GM, and he can do whatever he wants with his coach. He can be the coach if he wants. He could hire whoever he wants. I'll be happy with that.
Yes. You can call me Funk. Says Luke. If the Lions are on the board and the best player available is Pitts from Florida, should the Lions take him? Ain't that the tight end?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So no, listen. The thing I know what he's trying to do, but the issue that he messed up with was he put best player available, and I believe in taking the talent. And so to show you how much I believe in taking the talent is I remember the year that Jeremy Shockey was drafted, and everybody was like, "You're crazy," and I was like, "Okay." And I think if it wasn't that next year or the following year after, I want to say it was, they took another tight end, another talented tight end, and I said, "Brilliant!" It caused hell for people. Now, obviously, Jeremy Shockey kept on getting hurt, but they took the talent, and the Giants have been to a few Super Bowls because of that method of taking the talent. I look at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh they got rid of Antonio Brown. They got rid of Santonio Holmes. All the receivers they got rid of, you never saw them reach and say, we got to get the best player available. They took the talent. But if you're asking me if that tight end is there in talent-wise, and I've already said that at this point, that if the Lions are picking in the top 10, they got to take a quarterback because Stafford keeps getting hurt. And so for me, if I'm doing it, and I'm telling you right now, y'all can call me batshit crazy, but if I'm doing it and Stafford ain't hurt, I'm taking the talent. And if he's the best talent I got, I'm going to run the best two tight end system you ever seen in your life. Good luck stopping it. Okay? Because I'm telling you, go through look at the 49ers when they had Vernon Davis, and Vernon Davis decided to play, shit got real. Things got really real. So I'm just sitting up there saying it, That's all I'm pointing out. But real, give me your number one and number two. My apologies. Go ahead.
Oh no! I said Peyton Manning, man. If he'd be my number one.
Listen, I can't. Like I said, it brings notoriety to the thing. If I was picking somebody with no experience, it would be Peyton Manning. All right, Ryder, give me your number one and number two.
So I haven't done a lot of research on GMs, but I do like what I've seen out of Ed Dodds from Indianapolis. I do like John Dorsey a lot. And head coach, I've been saying this for months now, it's got to be Robert Saleh. I mean, he's the best coaching candidate, and especially if Dodds comes here. I mean, he already wanted Saleh in Cleveland, so
which is why I think that's who we taking.
Yeah, but I think he's a good GM too. I mean, I don't think that I just want him because of Saleh, or I want Saleh because of Dodds. I think that they're both very good at their jobs, but those would be my two.
Okay, OMG, who you got? Give me your number one pick for head coach and your number one pick for general manager. If you could bring them in for the Lions.
Dorsey gotta be he gotta be the number one pick for the GM. I think that's just hands down. Everybody else would be going off of what you think they could do. Dorsey he's the proof in the pudding. Just like the guy they just interviewed. Like that's the proof in the pudding is right there. So head coach, I'm gonna go Robert Saleh, or he's the obvious. So I'm gonna go a little just unorthodox, and I'm gonna say Lovie Smith.
Wait, I'm sorry. Go back. I'm sorry.
What's up?
I might have been smoking on that just a few minutes. What you say?
Lovie Smith.
Okay, go ahead, continue. I'm gonna leave this one alone.
Yeah. You can go. Oh yeah. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. any man who can take Rex Grossman to the Super Bowl, I want him as my coach.
Thank you, OMG. Thank you.
That is a very good. But it's funny though. Listen, OMG, I laugh because when I talked about like how in the hell was the damn Jets winning under Rex Ryan with Mark Sanchez, I got basically told like no. But you make a very good point. Yes, that defense was lit. Lance Briggs,
right.
They had okay. Point taken. My apologies. I backpedal on that. You got it.
Yes. Thank you, Luke. Thank you.
Go ahead, bro. Take it. You got it. You winning that one. Go ahead.
No, but I just think that they are the two. Well, obviously Robert Salah is who I favor, but just to be a little different, just to throw it in there, I really do like Lovie Smith, man. So yeah, them is my two 1-on-1s right there.
Okay. Listen, I'm picking up what you're putting down. For me, my number one general manager, and the only reason I got him at number one right now is because I think he does come with something else. If your idea is that you want Robert Saleh as your head coach, then your GM will be Dodds. So Dodds would be my number one. But if I take that part of it out and I just want the guy who can give me the talent, I want Elliott Wolf. I don't know how the Browns got that much talent and sucked forever, and then now they can play well. I don't get it. There's too much talent on the Browns to ignore them. Like, you can literally look at the Browns on paper and go, damn, that's a lot of talent. You can look at the Browns in real life and go, damn, that's a lot of talent. And the person who's responsible for that was Elliott Wolf. It's a reason why New England looked over there and said, shit, we got to get him over here. And so he would be my guy. Now, the head coach is tricky because the head coach, in my opinion, is somebody that I don't think is getting a lot of attention right now. And he's not going to bring the necessary experience, I think, but I am enjoying what he's doing right now. And that is one Mr. Dennis Allen, defensive coordinator from the Saints. So if you can notice, I'm going to go all defense on this because I really want the defense to be the focal point of our team. My identity for this team is defense and running the ball. I want to look like the old school football teams back in the day. And if you go through and look at the 1991 Detroit Lions team, they played defense and did what? Ran the ball. I want to get back to that. That's what I want to get back to. And in order for that to happen, I need a defensive coordinator to get the hell out of the way of the offensive coordinator so he can do his job. So, to me, those would be my two picks. Y'all can call me crazy if you like.
Crazy. I'm playing with you, Luke. I'm playing with you, man.
Thank John Dorsey for the Browns and Chief roster. Now, wait. Let me go back. John Dorsey built. Are you saying John Dorsey built that roster? Because everything I looked at showed that Elliott Wolf was the director of player personnel, and whether we know it or not, the director of player personnel is who's responsible for the players getting there. Like, everybody give John Lynch all this praise, but it's Martin Mayhew who's picking these players. Like, I hate to break the news to you, it's him that's picking these players. Who was the director of player personnel over there? I thought John Dorsey was GM. Now, he got all the experience, but Elliott Wolf is the one who's picking those players. I'm just saying. Oh, yeah, that's another one right there. Look, Elliott Wolf didn't care about Kareem Hunt's pass transgressions.
But if it was, look, man, if they weren't hits, right? If they were bad players that he drafted, we wouldn't be saying, oh, but, the player personnel picked those players. It's the GM, you know what I mean? Like, the GM still picked those players. Dorsey still picked those players. You know what I mean? Like, no,
listen. The GM gets the credit for it. To me, I look at it like this, right? Like, I look at it like, how can I best word this, right? Like, okay, like you ever go out and you do something and people see you do something and they go, oh my God, you must have great parents and they raised a great kid. But they don't know if your background was toxic. You could have had the worst parents ever. They could be drug addicts and everything, alcoholics, but they saw you as a representation of your parents. That's how I kind of look at it. And what I started paying attention to was, who were the player directors or player personnel? Those were the people who were getting bumped up to general manager positions because those were the ones who were making personnel picks. We just as a fan base just go, oh, general manager, he gets it because he's all encompassing. But it really was the player personnel people who was doing it.
I guess, man. Yeah.
I'm just saying, somebody got a really big dog, like not no little dog. I'm talking like a dog that eat a pound of food a day. Like what the? Wow. All right, now here's a question that I personally came up with on my own because I was thinking about this. Should the Detroit Lions sit Matthew Stafford and DeAndre Swift for the rest of the season? We'll start this off with you, OMG.
Yes, they should. Yes, they should. I don't think you should risk Stafford no more. Like Stafford just don't need to go out there. We not to fall short of making the playoffs, man. Not to be 7-9 and then him get banged up and then he got another off season of just hell like he's had the last 2 years, man. Just let him get healthy. And if you're gonna trade him, you know what I'm saying, let him be as healthy as possible so you can get the best pick. If you're gonna bring him back for next year, then let him get healthy and come in next year healthy. You know what I'm saying? Don't do what you did the last 2 seasons and make him play through something, because that's just worse. That's just setting yourself up. And the same thing with Swift, man. Just don't even go for it this year, man. Just let them both heal up, let them both get right, and then and you in the middle of a GM coach search, man, go do that. That's more important. That's more important than this season right now. I'm sorry. Most people feel like, oh no, the season. Nah, man, the future of your team is what's most important. Like they're playing with house money right now. You know what I'm saying? Like Bevel is playing with house money. So, like, you can just you don't even have to. I mean, you do have to try and win some games, but your focus shouldn't be on that so much that you're not worried about the future. And the future is what you need to have your mind on.
Now, Ken says, as GM, I like Mike. I cannot pronounce his name. I'm trying to stay out of this conversation as much as possible while being a part of it, because I already got to change some stuff around. Thank you, Real. So appreciate you. But not a bad pick at all. Here's a good question right here. I want to just kind of jump on these really quick, which is from where I'm going to go back up here. Top Dog. Damn, so we should be blaming the player personnel and not Bob Quinn? Yeah. Watch this. You still blame Bob Quinn because Bob Quinn is responsible for hiring the head coach. He brought Patricia here. But the person who gets the players based on – so essentially, like, if anybody ever used Ship, the app called Ship, you know what I'm talking about? They are not sponsored by me, so I'm not promoting them. But if you ever used them, you basically put in there your entire grocery list, and then they go and get it, right? And then they're supposed to be able to look at certain things. So if you put in there that I want eggs – the assumption is you're going to actually make sure that the eggs are not broken. And if you put in there and say, I want apples, you want to make sure that they're actually good apples. And so that's what the player personnel is.
Bro, I don't know. Okay, listen, man. I don't know where you're going with this, grocery store analogy, bro. But listen, man. Look, man. We just talked about Rick Smith for like 10 minutes. Not one of us brought up his player personnel person. You know what I mean? Like, wait. And we talked about his drafting and stuff.
Again, Real.
Listen. We understand they have people working under them that are like player personnel people and people that scout. Obviously Bob Quinn was the scouting personnel person under the Patriots, right? We know that they have those people, but who ultimately made the pick? It was Bob Quinn or it was Rick Smith or whatever. Like that, we know that. You know what I mean? Like. But why is Elliot Wolf now on the table when he hasn't even had nearly the experience of Dorsey? And you're like bringing him up like we should be talking about him over here.
Well, the only reason with Dorsey, I don't think Dorsey's going anywhere. That's the problem. I don't think he's going anywhere. Plus, if you go back to previous conversations that I had, I don't think we are like a prime destination compared to some other places he can go. He can go to Jacksonville. He can go to Houston. There are a lot of different places where he can take options at. He can go right now if he's working just pure draft capital, total free for all, have fun. He can go to the Jets. I believe that the Chargers is getting ready to let Anthony Lynn go. He can go over there to the Chargers. So my thing is this. The options are what it is, and I'm going to look at what we can realistically get. But again, you destroy my video reel. I'm just
I gotta call you out, man. You know,
I love it though. I do love it though. I'm not gonna lie. I love it because it's good, man. I be missing when you're not on these shows. But if I should have thought about it before I made the damn video, like, oh, he coming on today. Okay, all right. But it's a good point, and I'm just saying that for me, I'm also being realistic about who we can get. You know what I mean? Like certain people are not. Cause here is almost like career suicide. Like you ain't gonna never see Matt Patricia as a head coach again, unless he's like the supervisor at Kroger's. You know what I mean? Like he's not leading nothing. So I'm just saying. So I'm just putting it out there. But let's talk about this, Smitty. Do you think the Lions should sit Matthew Stafford and Swift for the rest of the season?
Stafford is a definite yes for me. I mean, there's only 3 weeks in the season. There's not much to do here. And for Swift, I'd say you give him a little bit of touches, he should be all right.
Okay. Listen, I ain't. Hey, okay.
Man, I'm not gonna put no unneeded wear and tear on my running back.
Okay, listen. Real. Should the Lions continue to play Stafford and Swift the rest of the season?
No, I'm with Smitty on this. I think that Stafford needs to sit, but Swift, I don't see a problem with him being in rotation and being very limitedly used. I don't see a problem with that. Getting in some reps.
Ryder, should Stafford and Swift be set for the rest of the season?
I'm gonna go off what Smitty said. I think Matt Stafford should sit out, but if he can play, he's going to play. I think we all know that. If Stafford can physically walk and throw the football, he's going to be out there on the field throwing the football because that's just who he is. And, DeAndre Swift, I think we should play DeAndre Swift. To me, he looked pretty good in that Packers game. To me, he looked like he was back. He looked like he was, the stats might say it, but he looked like he was a dangerous player. He looked like he was ready to go. He looked like he was ready to get back on the field. So, I mean, I'm not saying give him 20, 30 carries a game, but, get him in, get him involved in the mix, get him with his teammates, get his bond, let him bond with his teammates, let him grow with this team, let him, experience the NFL because he's still a rookie. Like, you only get one rookie season. And if DeAndre Swift's healthy enough to play, let him go out and play football. I mean, that's what you drafted him to do, right? You didn't draft him to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And another thing to that, I saw in the comment section that someone that shall not be named called him Kerryon Johnson 2.0. I mean,
a concussion is very different from an
injury. Yeah.
I've had a lot of concussions. And
it'd be more like Javid Best 2.0.
Can we just take a moment to acknowledge that Ryder casually just threw out there that I had a lot of concussions? What the hell? But I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree with OMG. There is no need for you to put any tread on them tires on Swift.
Thank you.
There's no reason for it. First of all, if he did get a concussion, those are very slow healing injuries. Let that process start now. Keep him fresh. Keep him ready to go. Keep him ready to rock and roll. That's the whole purpose of you having Adrian Peterson and Kerryon Johnson in the backfield.
Right.
Run them. Run the hell out of them. Let them go. Let them run their thing. And at the end of the day, I'm not trying to put him out there. Stafford needs to sit because he needs to sit his butt down, period. He should have been sat down before playing with a bad back, broke fingers and stuff, but people want to try to be smart guys in the room. So, no, I wouldn't do it. Now, shout out to Dolo Dynamite, who says player personnel said he wanted Tua. The reports were that player personnel wanted Tua or Simmons, and Quin took Okuda. Perfect example of why player personnel's rock in the hierarchy of order. This is a great question from Greg Charlie, who says, is experience at head coach as important if we have experience at GM? I'm going to talk to everybody because this is y'all time to ask questions. But this is a really good one. Let's start this off with you, Real. Is experience at head coach as important if we have experience at GM?
Man, that's a hard question. I think that it is. It's not as important, but it's still obviously very, very important to have experience, I believe. But I think that if you do have an experienced and very good GM, it makes it easier on the coach because you can, rely on the GM to maybe get you the pieces that you need or the personnel that you need as well.
Okay. Ryder, what do you think? I mean, if you got experience at the GM position, is the experience at head coach important?
I mean, apparently the GM's just a pretty face turning in the cards. He's not doing any actual work out
He's
there.
the player personnel coach that you got to worry about.
But no, I mean, I kind of agree with what Real said. I mean, if you have an experienced GM who can bring you in the right pieces, can bring you in good guys on good contracts and build a good team around you, I think that makes it a lot easier on a head coach if he hasn't had the experience, and if we're just talking like strictly he has head coaching experience, I don't know how, I mean, obviously that's valuable, but to me, if you can coach, you can coach football. Like if you can coach, you can coach. So it doesn't matter if you're a coordinator or a head coach to me. If you can coach football, you can coach football. So I don't necessarily think the experience at head coach is as important as experience with bringing in the right players for your head coach.
Okay, listen, y'all. Some of these answers I can't really even kill. Smitty, what do you think? If we got experience at the general manager position, is the experience at head coach really that important?
Hey, in this business, experience is everything. Enough said. The more experience you have, the better.
Yeah, I mean, good point there. What do you think, OMG? If they already got an experienced general manager, is it important that we have an experienced head coach?
Yes, because the GM can pick the talent, he can do all of that, but the coach still gonna have you in the in-game situations like Matt Patricia and just doing dumb stuff like running 3-3-5 defenses. And the management of the game, management of the play clock, controlling the end of the game. That's all like head coaching things that experienced coaches know. And I just don't. I mean, if we do get a guy who don't have no experience, at least let him have a pedigree. You know what I'm saying? At least let him go through some stuff. But I really want a guy with some experience, man, because I just don't want to go through the same bumps and bruises as we just went through with Matt Patricia.
I'm gonna tell you my answer to this question, and I'm gonna tell you why experience at head coach is more important than experience as general manager. Let me direct y'all attention to one Dallas Cowboy team. Jerry Jones bought this team in about 1989 or 88, somewhere in that area. And this team had a Hall of Fame head coach and was still holding above float. And he decides that, you know what, they're not doing enough. So guess what he does? He goes out and he hires Jimmy Johnson. Now, Jimmy Johnson goes to him and say, hey, I'm going to trade away Herschel Walker, your best player. I need draft capital. And y'all wonder why I think the Everson Griffin trade is terrible. But anyway, he tells him I'm trading away your best person. Jerry says to him, okay, but if it don't work, we're firing you. He says, okay, Jerry, fair enough. Now, it took 3 seasons because not only did he build the team up the way that he wanted to, he built it in his image. He was single-handedly adding players that he wanted in. And they started winning. Everybody knew who Dallas was again. Dallas was back on top. They was doing great. Now, watch Jerry Jones. He gets jealous because he doesn't get the credit. And the first thing he do is put Jimmy Johnson out. And they did win another championship with Barry Switzer. But after that, it got real. They stunk. They stunk horribly. And what they do, after a decade of stinking, they go over to Bill Parcells. And Bill Parcells built them back up to respectability. Bill Parcells told him, I wanted Tony Romo. He was like, no, I want to take this quarterback. That quarterback that he wanted to take literally was out of the league after the first 3 games. Guess what happened? The experience played out. And so I tell you that story as a cautionary tale that if you go out and you get this most experienced general manager, but he made the wrong hire, i.e. a Matt Patricia, you will look stupid. And at the end of the day, you will be frustrated. So the experience of the head coach matters more than anything. They work hand in hand, but the experience of the head coach can survive more than the lack of a experienced head coach and a good GM. The next question comes from Top Dog, who says, should we shut down Galladay? I don't know what you mean by that. It says 20+ million unrestricted free agent, using him if you're going to lose him. I don't know how to answer that. I don't know. I don't know. Question. Do you? Okay, so what you think we should do?
We should tag him and then trade him.
Tag him? I almost hung up on you. Don't do that. Don't.
We got to.
Do you know how much money?
We got to.
Do you know how much money his tag is?
How much it is. I know how much it is, man.
How much money you think it is? How much money you think it is to tag him?
I believe it's like 18 or 19.
Okay, so you working in the right ballpark. Okay, so talk to me.
Yeah, but so the thing is, man, is you can't let him walk. Like if you let him walk, like that's gonna be another. We can't do that. That's so we're gonna let another Pro Bowl player walk. Like that's just so we gotta eat that cap just so we can get the draft cap back. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it sucks, and we're gonna take the worst of it. But we're gonna take even worse of it. We just let him walk. You know what I'm saying? If we just let him. Okay, see you later, Galladay. Call me. Nah, man, we can't do that, man. We can't do that. We got to. We've been forced to be in this position, and it sucks, yeah, but we still got to, though. We don't have a choice. We can't let him walk, just like Ndamukong Suh walk. We still trying to recover from Ndamukong Suh leaving.
Yeah, we still ain't.
Like, yeah, we still like. So if we let Galladay leave without that, man, that's not good. That's not good, bro.
Okay. So this question, I love that You Can Call Me Funk did this. He is absolutely hilarious. Are we going to move on from Lance Newark? I believe that if we get another general manager and he don't like what he saw out of Lance Newark, then yes, we will move on from him. Lance Newark, if you're not Newmark or whatever, how you pronounce his name, Newmark. If you are not familiar with him, he is the director of player personnel. Just putting it out there, people. Yeah, You Can Call Me Funk man, that dude is clever, quick with it too. Let's see. Let's go down here. They're still talking about Stafford. I'm not getting into that. Y'all can have the Stafford talk. Should we trade Kerryon Johnson next year to get more picks? You won't be able to because he'll be a free agent. And so, to me, you missed that ship. You were supposed to trade him this season to get those picks, and that ship is now sailed. I don't think you can. I don't think you're going to be able to.
There were rumors that they were shopping him, and then I don't think any offers came.
I think offers came. I don't think he took them. Like, I think he overvalued what this player is. But my attitude to it is this. With Kerryon, on the last year of his deal and the injuries he's had, who's giving up any real capital?
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it should have happened this year, and then I think it'd have been good to go. Let's see. Let's keep going down here, see if we find some of these questions. Yes, Luke, but if a new head coach has experience, defensive coordinator, and RC, they can make up for the inexperience if he takes their advice. Yeah, that's a good point. I ain't gonna argue with that. You can pay a wide receiver that much money that has never had more than 70 receptions. I didn't say I'm gonna pay him that. OMG said that.
And it's not because I want to. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to, but we have to because we let it get to this. You know what I'm saying? Just like the suit thing. Now we have to. You know what I'm saying? Just like in this draft, we have to draft a quarterback first because we didn't let this happen. We didn't let this play out. And now we put in a position where we got to do certain things that we don't really want to do.
Hey, I'm just saying, Steve, I didn't say it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not paying that kind of money. You got to remember.
If we extend him, that's how much he's probably asking for.
Yeah, but he said franchise tag. That means that $18 million is guaranteed. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Ain't no backlog.
If you think he's gonna play, then like just like any that. Yeah, but like I'm just saying, you guys are talking about the money. Like the money wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, listen, it's a big deal to me. I'm the same guy who still bitching about the $6 million to Danny Amendola. I'm trying to figure out where that money went. That $13 million to Chase Daniels, where that money went.
Right.
Just putting it out there. Two guys in the podcast, shout out to you gentlemen. They say Saul Raw Wood asked publicly for Luke to stop calling about being for interview for GM. They won't take my calls no more. They've completely blocked me. I'm trying to get in. Ryder, I'm giving you the next question because I saw one and here we go. Would you pay Calvin Johnson, Ryder? Like to get Calvin Johnson back in the fold, would you pay him?
Like right now?
Right now.
I mean, I have no idea. Would I pay Calvin Johnson for what role?
I mean, you just try to make him feel better so he can be back as one of those greats for the Rams.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think you just pay Calvin Johnson because are they referring to when they took his money after he retired? I'm assuming that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You owe him that money. In my opinion, In my opinion,
it's only $1 million. It's $1 million.
Right. It's not even that much
money. The season's a wash anyway. Just do it.
We done went through all these years of heartache with the Calvin Johnson thing for $1 million. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
I don't even know why they
Bro, Sheila should just drop a couple million in his pocket. Just be like, sorry,
for
man.
your inconvenience, Calvin drops him a couple extra mil.
Right.
Yeah, under the table.
All the cheap shots. All the cheap shots from Calvin over $1 million. Forbes, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
Now, SpeakEZ Sports says, sidebar, Jimmy Johnson didn't have NFL head coaching experience for the Cowboys. No, but he had head coaching experience. And he put up a program over there in Miami that was unheard of. And guess what he did? He got all them players to come to him. Every time he was Jimmy Johnson was so good at what he did that he was stealing players from big schools like Alabama and even Michigan that they thought they were going to go to Michigan or Alabama. He was coming in there with this, whatever he was saying to them, and they ended up playing on the U. I'm just saying, putting it out there. I mean, that's why. So let's see. I agree. Gotta tag Galladay.
Thank you, Ramon. You know what I'm talking about. We can't let another talented player walk for nothing.
Sip Trap Media. Shout out to you. Haven't seen you in a long time. He says, would Alliance cut or trade Davis? They can't trade him, and I don't know how they're gonna cut him because this is his last year. So he will be an unrestricted free agent, and so they really don't have any power over him. They really have him. I love Jared Davis, and I think Jared Davis is constantly being put in the wrong position, similar to what they're doing to Jelani Tavai. Look at Jelani Tavai's rookie season and his performance, and look at what they did to him afterwards. When did they decide to put him on the outside and just say, you know what, we're going to rush you a whole lot? That's not his game. So it's crazy.
And they did that to Tahir Whitehead too. He was an outside linebacker, and they put him at middle linebacker, and knowing he couldn't play middle linebacker, knowing he couldn't play it.
I'm gonna leave some things alone.
Listen, don't get me started, Luke.
I'm telling you, Top Dog says, Luke, we can't want experienced head coach and then turn around and say we want Salah. So if you remember, my thing was, if your guy is that you want Salah, then you want Dodds. And that's who I think we're going to get. But I am not picking Salah as my head coach. I would rather take somebody else that I think can do it, the defensive coordinator from the Saints, if I'm going to go down the route of Salah. The guy that I really want for head coach, my number one guy is David Shaw. And we would have to throw the bank at him to get him here. But I believe if David Shaw was our head coach, we're in the Super Bowl. That's how much I feel. All right. Any more questions in there? Let me see. I don't see any going once.
The Super Bowl. As in the head coach for Stanford?
Yes. If we got David Shaw, the head coach from Stanford, I guarantee you we would be in the Super Bowl.
He's been over there a long time.
He has, but you know the crazy part about it? What amazes me is he keeps winning. And he has a harder criteria to work with than other teams. Other teams can go out and take pure talent in college because all you need is a 2.0 GPA. You ain't getting up in Stanford with no 2.0 GPA. You ain't getting up in there with no 2.0 GPA. You better rethink that process. So them kids he got are like almost like super smart. But at the end of the day,
Richard Sherman, I believe.
Like I said. This guy is somebody that I love. What former head coach with experience are available right now? Please don't say Lovie Smith.
Listen, Greg. Here we go. Listen, Greg. No, you're gonna make me get emotional. If you can take Rex Grossman to the Super Bowl, then you can be my coach. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
That's all I'm saying. You had a third string quarterback. A third-string quarterback from Florida. Florida don't never breed no good quarterbacks.
I ain't saying nothing. I'm leaving
Ohio State.
Yeah, you had Danny Warfel out there playing quarterback for the Bears.
I'm not getting this one. I'm leaving that one alone. Some of the people who could possibly be available is like Steve Spagnuolo. He's a experienced head coach who can be available, but Steve Spagnuolo wasn't the greatest head coach. I'm just putting them out there, people. I'm not telling y'all this is who I want. He asked the question. I'm putting them out there. Rex Ryan is an experienced head coach. I think he is probably the most.
I like Rex. I like Rex.
Todd Bowles, defensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is another person that's out there. I
can still see that dumb look on his face too that he be having on the sideline when stuff go wrong.
I am not playing with you, bro. He is out here tripping right now. He said, Lincoln Riley is another name that's out there who got experience, has been there. Another name that's out there that got experience and been there is like Josh McDaniels, which again, I'm pretty sure somebody can go, so
he's probably the only good coach under Bevel. Under Belichick that he ain't leaving because he want to be the heir apparent of the Patriots. He's the only one besides Belichick that can coach over there.
Well, I'm just saying. So those are just a few to name in terms of experienced people that is still out there. Herm Edwards, I think, is done with coaching, in my opinion. Jack Del Rio, he's on that list as well as in terms of experienced head coaches. But like I said,
he in Washington, ain't he?
I forgot Jim Harbaugh too, but I don't want Jim Harbaugh here because now, Smitty, you can correct me if I'm right or wrong. Are you a Michigan fan, Smitty? I hate to do it, but I got it for the people out there. It's just Here we go. Okay.
Why on earth would I want a crybaby loser on the team? We already got rid of Slay. I mean, why would we need another one?
No, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. Mute him for the rest of the show, Luke.
Hey, all I'm saying is this. At the end of the day, I just want to point this out. I really believe that if we brought in Jim Harbaugh, his time in Detroit would be over before it even started. The Michigan fan base hate this man. They hate this man. And if he come here, the first thing that he do, they are going to be on his head. Like literally.
He needs to embrace it. The fans are already SOL anyway. It doesn't matter.
Well, hey, I'm just saying they're going to go ham about that one. I don't think they'll like that one.
Let him come here and lose to the Packers. He's done. He ain't gonna make it home.
Ramon he said, look, Herm Edwards would have had an epic post presser for the first week.
Better throw them khakis for bus fare. That happens.
That was so funny when he went off about that. Let me see. It was another one I saw up here that I wanted to kind of jump on really quick. We can get out of here. He said, "Dad, you called my guy Slay a crybaby." All right, here we go. How do you make Michigan cookies? Is that a thing?
Carefully.
I've never heard of that.
You go up to a horse, you hold your hands out, you get the steaming hot bag of you know what, and you give it to a person.
Are you serious?
That's how you make Michigan cookies.
Oh, that's disgusting. I don't want those.
Yeah, man. I don't even want our state to be associated with that, man.
That's exactly what the UN program is.
He should be an Ohio cookie or something like that.
He says the way you make a U of M cookie is you put them in a bowl and pound them for 3 hours. Wow.
Wow. I'm Wolverine, and I don't like this right now. I go to the games faithfully. I go to 1 or 2 every year, and I don't like this right now.
How do you feel about Marvin? How do you feel about Marvin Lewis? I would not be mad. I would not be mad at Marvin Lewis, but I think the average Lion fan would be. I think Marvin Lewis' mistake was staying in the AFC with a team that he helped put on the map. I think if he went to the NFC, like Andy Reid switched over to the AFC, he would have killed it. But no.
Dude, how many seasons, though? How many seasons? Come on.
Okay,
how many seasons did he make the playoffs though?
Hold on.
How many seasons did he win at one of those games though?
No, but the moment that he left the Bengals, they were hot garbage and irrelevant. And look at them right now; they're already ready to get rid of their head coach now. So I'm just saying, Lane Kiffin. I'm gonna say no. I think he's better I think he's better in the college ranks, and I don't want him as a guy to lead man on our team.
Honestly, I just don't understand why a college coach would leave their program to for an NFL gig. To me, being a head coach in a college program is like the best thing you can ever do. You got so much freedom and whatnot. I just don't understand it.
Money.
That's one of the reasons why people like Nick Saban left, because this general manager, when he was on the Dolphins, got on his nerves. He could not take it no more. All right, well, listen, we're going to get to our final thoughts, man. I appreciate everybody for coming in here. We just want to have a look. You know what? Let me go back real quick because I want to point this out, too. Am I the only one that think Michigan was ducking that Ohio State game? Is that just
No,
they was ducking. They was ducking. And I mean, I'm a Wolverine. I'm a real Wolverine. They was ducking.
I just thought I'd put that out there because I swear to God, I'm like, I wonder which y'all had to play that game if it was something more to it. Just saying. I'm just saying.
This just makes the program look even worse because last time I checked, Minnesota won their game and they had like 50 players out due to COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know they're gonna find a way to get out of that beat down. They couldn't escape that beat down on Halloween. But you know what? We was here for it. Smitty, let me tell you, I got so much trash talked to me that they forced me to go full a-hole.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
You gotta stay to them pompous assholes, all right? You gotta do it.
You almost made me cuss.
Look. Everybody know. Real talk. Everybody know. Ramon even said,
young Wolverine.
Look, Ramon even said, "Go blue." Yes, we was ducking. Didn't want 70 put up on us. I know they was. But listen,
Facts.
Let's go to give our final thoughts. Starting off with our guest who came on. Hopefully, he come back on and have some fun with us. Smitty, man, appreciate you for coming through. What are your final thoughts for the people?
And final thoughts. Please make your own decisions. And if you have time, check out one of my group pages, which I'm an admin in. Realist and Truest Detroit Lion page on Facebook. You can debate, talk about what you feel about the team, and also take your suggestions with us. We're a very welcoming group, and I want to do this again someday.
Hey, I'm gonna get you back on, man. I'm gonna get you back on, and I'm gonna do it.
Oh, I'm on your page, man. I didn't even know that. What's up?
Leave it to Mike to be like the late to the party guy. Oh, I was already there. Okay.
It's a good group. I strongly recommend looking at it sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you get a chance, shoot it to me. I'm not on the social medias like that because I'm not good with computers. I'll add it to the description. What are your final thoughts for the people, OMG?
Yeah, man. Just check out OMG's Lions Talk. I'm about to get back on it, man. And we hired some new people in the kitchen, so I'm about to get back on it. I ain't got to be working all these doubles like that. And I just want to say, man, shout out to my little cousin, Eric Williams Jr. He's the small forward at the University of Oregon for the Ducks. Right now, he averaging 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. That boy is balling right now. He's a redshirt junior transfer from Duquesne. And he playing right now. He went to New Haven High School. He was a Class B state player of the year in 2017. And, he doing his thing, man. Shout out to my cousin, Eric Williams Jr.
Wow, that's awesome.
All right, listen.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. All right, let's go ahead and get on down to it. Mr. Writer, what are your final thoughts for the people?
I mean, there's a lot going on in the Lions world right now. A lot of searching, a lot of speculation. So, this should be a fun couple of months coming up for Lions fans. We got a lot to look forward to. Go over to my channel, subscribe to RachelMarieSports. Upload daily Lions content. I think it's pretty good. So if you'd like to go subscribe, I'd be appreciative for it. But, I have fun doing this. Thank you, Smitty, for coming on. Always having a great time talking Lions football with you guys. So
Always.
Hey, absolutely. And then last but certainly not least, I'm gonna call him Tony Stark. Andrew gonna kill me later on, but I'm gonna take it down, take it with pride. We have Mr. Real from Real Detroit Lions fans. Give me your final thoughts.
All right, I do have one question, man. There's Top Dog and Greg Peoples in the chat. Both said that they think Rex Ryan is the best coach for us. And I just have one question. How much is Luke paying you to put that in the chat? Because that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
We don't got enough moon pies and burgers to feed his appetite, okay? We can't do that.
First of all, let's be honest. The only reason that he even had the issue that he had was because he stayed in the division to get after the New England Patriots. He got after them at the Jets and gave them a run for their money, and he did all these things with Mark Sanchez as head coach. Then he went to the Bills. He went to the Bills. This is the Bills with Josh Allen. This is the Bills with you and me. And guess what? He still went 500, and that was with them not giving him what he wants. Rex Ryan right now is hungry. And if you're looking at it for the least amount of work done, imagine what our defense is set up for. It's set up for a 3-4 hybrid. And what does Rex Ryan run? A 3-4 hybrid. You guys want people to be yelled at. Rex Ryan is going to yell at you. He yelled at Darrelle Revis. He yelled at the front office for not signing Darrelle Revis and walked out cursing. The reason he is no longer in football is because he don't cuss out too many front office people for not getting him what he wants. That is the problem. So I didn't pay him. I'm just merely sitting out here putting up these facts. That man did too much with too little.
Man, the more we're talking about it, the more people you're converting, man.
And he went to just like Lovie Smith. If you go to a Super Bowl or if you go to the AFC Championship with Mark Sanchez, then I want you as my coach.
Bro, I'm done listening to this propaganda.
Look,
I'm done listening to this.
You almost get the Super Bowl with Mark Sanchez. I want y'all. Y'all need to come on and be my coach.
Like I said, we don't have enough moon pies and burners to fill up Rex Ryan, so that's not an option right now.
Listen, but we got some good restaurants here, and I know one thing: they will play for him. He will get everything out of them. If you look at, they gave that man Geno Smith. He didn't even want Geno. They just told him, you know what, you're taking Geno Smith. His eyes got big and said, "Oh, y'all just gonna do me like that." Then they stuck with Geno Smith, and he told the truth. That's what pissed off a lot of these owners. Like, you gonna come in our organization and snitch on us? Yes. He snitched them out. Imagine how much we would know about the Lions if he was the head coach. I'm just saying.
Ooh.
Listen, like I said, I'm done listening to this propaganda. But listen, it's fun. It's fun to be here talking to you guys about football, man. I need to come on more. I've been really busy during these times, but I definitely need to come on more. I was honestly really disinterested as well in the Lions after week 2. So because I knew the season was over back then. So. But I'm happy to be talking about them again. It's an exciting time, so let's go Lions. And if you're a real Detroit Lions fan, go onto my channel and hit that subscribe button, and everybody in the DSA as well.
I mean, you were one of the people who wanted him for a third year. I just feel like you should have ate this humble pie.
That's part of it, man. Like I kind of defended him and like did say we haven't seen everything from him yet, and obviously you guys ended up being right about that. You guys saw enough and I didn't, and then it came out to be true, so it just hurt a little bit more, because you put a little bit more faith.
Hey, it happens. Listen, good people, I want to say first of all, thank you, Smitty, for coming on. I'm going to get Smitty back on. I'm probably going to find something to do. We can do something one-on-one too, so you can kind of like, plug the YouTube, bless me, the Facebook group, so people can be a part of the Facebook group. I'm not even sure how to work Facebook. I can barely work Twitter, so don't judge me.
I know you old. It comes with the territory.
Listen, dude, it'd be so funny because people make jokes about me. They be like, dude, you tweet like you like 100. And I'm like, y'all can kick rocks. I'm sorry. I don't know. So, but yeah. So also to the people who came onto the panel tonight, appreciate you for rocking with us. And today's positive quote comes from my mom, who called me up today because my job was working on my best nerves, and she gave me some words of encouragement. And she told me, she said, "Hey, son, if don't nobody else see it, you should know to yourself you are fly as hell." Man, that's all I needed to hear. Sometimes you need the right pep talk from your mom or your dad or your brother or your grandma or your grandfather. The point I'm trying to make is there's somebody who loves you. And whatever you are doing, no matter how busy you get, you need to go find some time just to keep in touch with them. Because I'm pretty sure they're thinking about you every step of the way. I was thinking about how terrible this job was, and my mom knew something was wrong. And I didn't want to be that boy to call home and say, Mom, this job is making me so upset. I didn't want to be that guy. Mom knew, and mom hit me up and gave me the encouragement that I needed to know, which is that no matter what, I'm fly. We need to take time out to understand that there are people who are absolutely 100% behind us. And with that being said, people, make sure that you love them and give them their flowers while they're here versus when they're gone. As always, all links are in the description as well as on my featured channel. Thank my guests for coming on. And don't be no chump, please. Please do your research. We are out.